just seen your pictures, and I said, we need a shave.
Before we call the meeting to order tonight, we're going to do the pledge here in just a few minutes, and we're going to have an invocation. The invocation is usually given by a member of the clergy from Connersville or wherever they might want to come from, and whether or not you want to participate in the invocation is up to you. You don't have to. Nobody is required to. The clergy is just here for the benefit to give the benefit to the council people, and regardless of your religious beliefs, it doesn't make any difference. We'd be glad to have anybody of any religious group to come in and offer our invocation. All you need to do is call the office and say you'd like to be here. And whether or not you participate in the invocation will make no difference in the matter in which you came here to take care of it tonight. So with that, I'd like for us all to stand. I get to lead the pledge, and I don't think I ever did that. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have Pastor Kane tonight, who has come to give our invocation.
Lord, we thank you for the honor it is for us to be your people at this time. Indeed, we feel, Lord, in a very real way that we're living in pivotal times, crucial times, and that we're not here by accident. There's a purpose and a reason for our existence in this very hour. We're mindful of the words to Queen Esther by her own uncle Mordecai, when he said to her, "You've been brought to the kingdom for such a time as this." So we pray for these leaders who have been chosen by the citizens of this city, that, Lord, that you'd help them to recognize more than ever before the necessity of this hour. We pray for our city, Lord, that the eyes of men and women's hearts will be open to recognize the seriousness of these times, that we all will find the means and the ways to work together for the common good. That it will not be our desires, our wishes, but instead our prayer would be in every gathering of this, churches, community, committees, not our will, but, oh God, thine be done. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor Kane.
Thank you.
Official meeting of the City Council will come to order December the 3rd, 2012. We'll have roll call.
Councilwoman Risch?
Here.
Councilman Weber?
He's here.
Yes, he is.
Councilman Schomel?
Present.
Councilman Nobby?
Here.
Councilwoman Montgomery?
Here.
Councilman Creech?
Present.
Councilwoman Stevens?
Here.
I think let the record show that all are present, 7 council people, and we have a quorum, we can do business.
He went away, I don't know.
I think he went to get his glasses.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what he told me. Okay. The second order of business will be to shut off our cell phones or put them on vibrate. Everybody already done that? And then we will have the reading of the minutes.
Your Honor,
Last meeting. Yes.
I would like to make a motion, we pass the, excuse me, minutes as presented.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to pass the minutes as they were sent out to the council people. Are there any additions or corrections? None appearing. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. The minutes stand approved as read. We have an honor tonight to recognize a former police officer that worked for the city of Connersville. And I told him to write on here how many years, and he didn't. So
26.
26. If Officer Bates and Chief Counselor would come forward.
Your Honor, Tom retired on medical back in, correct me, 2009. February 2009.
Right.
Okay. And he went on medical, and he didn't really. Of course, he he shifted over to regular retirement. And through our busy times and everything else, Tom did, he had a party put on by his wife, I believe, and FOB got your retirement badge, you got your gun and all, but he was never publicly recognized for his service to the Connersville Police Department for his 26 years of service. So I've talked to Tom and I've talked to his wife and everything else, and I thought, it's, you know, we think it's about time he needs to be recognized and everything else. So as we have done with several others who have retired, we've got him a plaque. And we came up with this plaque, I think the one like this one was, the first one was McQueen last year. When he retired, he got a plaque like this. It's something we kind of got going with this new plaque. And ironically, McQueen and him hired on January 1st of 1983, and they hired in together, and that's how long that's been ago. So anyway, at this time, I want to read this plaque, because Tommy had some accomplishments when he was on the police department for his 26 years, and he held several different positions. So I'm going to read this off. And Tommy, I'll let you kind of look at it here too. Okay. Thomas E. Bates, 26 years distinguished service to the city of Connersville. Tommy has risen through the ranks over the years from patrolman, sergeant, lieutenant, detective, and at one time he was deputy chief under Maury Connell. And he's also a member of the SWAT team. He was instrumental in starting our bicycle patrol program we had back in that era when we had a lot of extra people and we could do that. He also worked as a traffic safety director, and his loyalty and dedication of law enforcement goes over and beyond the call of duty. And I got it down presented by the city of Connersville, David J. Counselor, police chief. And it's time I want to present you with this plaque. Thank you, and congratulations. He's got his wife Cindy with him. He's got two of his grandchildren with him, and I'm bad on names, so. Kara, and Bailey. And so, and his wife Cindy's accompanying him tonight to get this plaque. I think Amir has something.
Did you introduce his children and his wife?
His grandchildren.
Grandchildren, okay.
Thank you very much.
Tom Bates, I have a bicentennial kin for you to wear proudly this next year.
I will do so, sir.
Congratulations, and thank you so much for all the service.
Thank you.
I'm sure everybody up here. Anybody at the council like to speak? Anybody?
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome. I appreciate this, everyone.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you very much.
You're very, very welcome, okay?
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for being your daddy. Grandma.
Okay, you guys, you're very welcome. See, guys, I don't think your grandpa and your grandma wants to hang around for the rest of the week.
I've done too many. He's not. He knows where the door's at.
See, you guys.
Okay.
Oh, there's Weber. He's back. He's back.
I told him you were here, we just couldn't see you.
Couldn't see a thing.
I think you wore camouflage clothes tonight.
I could have.
Okay. We have two resolutions where we're taking money back in from telephones. Three, what? Three, I'm sorry, I said two, but there's three. Resolution 2012, 28, 2012, 29, and 30. I'd like to take those, it's receiving money back in if we're switching over, and so we're getting some reimbursements, switching over to different companies. I'd like to take them all three at the same time if you allow us.
So good.
Motion, is there a second?
Second.
A motion and a second to accept resolution 2012 to 2012-30, all at one time. Is there any discussion? Any discussion at all? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried, and you got her done. Pending ordinance 2976. This is an additional appropriation, $8,200 to the park pool bond. I'll explain what this is. In the past, we've been taking the pool bond money out of the edit fund, which we were shortchanged on that because we didn't get enough money. So we've got to make an additional appropriation to pay that bond. And clerk treasurer needs $8,200. we have to advertise this as a public hearing because it's an additional appropriation. So I will open public hearing. Is there anybody that would like to speak to this issue? Anybody? Everybody understands what it is? Okay. Close the public hearing and open it up to the council. What's your pleasure?
This is the last payment for the year, right?
Yes. Truthfully, it's the first payment for next year, but it's due January 1st, so we have to pay it out of this year's money.
I'll make the motion we pass pending ordinance 2976 on first reading.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor to pass pending orders 2976 on first reading. Any discussion? Ready for discussion? None appearing. Ready for the question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to suspend the rules and move on?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor to suspend the rules to consider pending ordinance number 2976 on on second reading or final reading. On suspension of rules only. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Motion carried. You can consider it if you'd like.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor and a second that we consider pending ordinance 2976 on final reading, putting $8,200 in the park pool bond fund so we can pay the bill. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We're done with that one. Pending ordinance 2977. This is an additional appropriation and it is police, other employees, fringe, DOT perf, and fire fringe. It's the end of the year, and what we're trying to do is get enough money in to pay the bills to get through the year. This will do it all, right?
I hope so. If it's not, we're out of luck. People aren't gonna get paid.
Okay.
What's other employees?
That's just the line item that everybody but the chief and the assistant chief are getting paid out of. And that's actually to cover, they have comp time that they can accrue. And at the end of the year, they have the option to sell it back or save up to a week of it and turn it into next year. And most of them have opted to sell theirs back, so we need that to cover that cost.
It's hard
So
to
did-
budget
So I
this
just have a
time.
question. Is this just a fall short of what we guessed
Yes,
on the
because
budget?
it's just
It
guessing.
varies.
You never know what that is because you don't know who gets what and how many hours, and there's some part-time pay in here too.
They'll cover that.
Other employees, yeah.
Yeah, I'm hoping it takes care of it for the rest of the year.
Mr. Mayor?
This is the last additional appropriation we can do.
I'm sorry, Julie. Have you closed this for the public and council now, or?
No, we gotta, I always forget that, we gotta have a public hearing. Does the
Okay.
public got anything they'd like to talk about here? With this ordinance, we're taking money from the general fund and appropriating it. Anybody? None appearing. Go ahead, council.
Okay. Your Honor,
Yes.
for the benefit of most everyone, you know, our budget is a plan, and sometimes we don't have enough money towards the end of the year and we have to move money around. Having said that, I would like to make a motion that we pass pending ordinance 2977.
Second.
A motion on the floor to pass pending ordinance 2977 on first reading. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to suspend the rules?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor to suspend the rules so we can consider pending ordinance 2977 on final reading, putting fire fringe to $12,000, DOT perf $4,000, police and other employees $25,000, and fringe $5,000. On suspension of rules only, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. If you'd like to move forward, we can.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to consider pending ordinance 2977 on final reading. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We can do that. Pending ordinance 2978. It's an additional appropriation general fund coming into cable TV for a vehicle. This comes out of the John Pawsey's fund, which comes from the subscription from the cable TV. And we have to have a public hearing. Are you public?
Nope.
Anybody have anything to say, public? This is just a thing you have to do. You have to offer a public hearing. Anybody? Public hearing closed. Council, ask any questions. There he is.
Fran,
Sir,
you're a member of John's board. Are you
Yes.
okay with this?
absolutely, yes, we approved it. The board unanimously approved the purchase of a different vehicle because the one that we had was not economical as far as mileage was concerned. John found this one and we decided it was in the right direction.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
John, just for the benefit, can you tell everybody what the vehicle is?
Yes, it's a Dodge Grand Caravan,
What year is it, John?
2012.
12.
Has 28,500 miles. We got it from Enterprise. Reedman's was able to find it for us. Got a good deal on it.
And it's used for transporting equipment.
We chose the Caravan due to the cargo capacity in the rear entrance. It's the only vehicle on the market that has a 4-foot wide rear entrance, which we need in order to transport our camera platforms. Every time we do that, we need to be able to do that width. I tried a few other vehicles that were smaller, couldn't get them in there.
Smaller camera.
But it does get great gas mileage. Look at that. It's 2 to 3 times what we were getting in the Expedition. It's good.
And the old vehicle went to the street department, I believe.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
We were offered a trade-in on that. They only offered us $1,500. So we thought to get
But
more
now
use
we're
out of
letting the
it.
street superintendent drive it. It's the best of the 2 cars we got left, so we're letting him drive that, clean it up. Well, on pending ordinance 2978, what's your pleasure? We've had a public hearing.
I move we pass it for first reading.
Second.
Got a motion that we pass pending ordinance 2978 on first reading. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to suspend the rules?
So be it.
Second.
Motion on the floor to suspend the rules, considering pending ordinance 2978 on third and final reading. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Pending ordinance 20, okay, I'm sorry, that was on suspension. Final reading, anybody? Make a motion?
Oh,
So
I'm cool.
moved.
I confused you.
Okay, it's cool. We're good.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Pending ordinance 2979, this is an additional appropriation, bicentennial donation. 3 years ago, we promised them we would put $15,000 a year. This is the 2012 payment. There'll be 2 payments this year, and that'll be the end of it. It's coming out of Riverboat, so we have to have a public hearing. Riverboat taking $15,000 out to put in the bicentennial fund. Any discussion?
Was that a total of 45?
45.
That's what I thought. I move that we accept this.
Okay. Got a motion on the, well, I gotta close the public hearing. Now we gotta,
Now I'm,
we have a motion on the floor to do this additional appropriation 2979 for the bicentennial donation. Is there a second?
I will second it.
Okay. Any discussion?
Julie, what's that leave us with in Riverboat? 'Cause I know we got some things in there
We have some
appropriated.
stuff appropriated. We've got almost 35,000 appropriated. So we'll take
Not
it.
counting this.
Yeah, I'm not counting that. So,
Julie, I didn't hear you, I'm sorry.
we have almost 35,000 that's appropriated that has not been spent yet out of the Riverboat Fund. So that would be another 15,000, so 50 off of this 181,000, so that leaves us about 130,000.
Thank you.
And when's our next payment for that?
Not until next August.
Okay, we've closed the public hearing on the bicentennial donation. I forget where we are.
We have a motion and a second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to suspend the rules on 2979 and consider this ordinance
Sweet. Oh,
final? Did I hear a motion?
and a grumble.
Weber,
Yes, I did. Seconded.
speak up.
I'm sorry.
Old man don't hear well. Is there a second?
He doesn't hear well.
I made it.
I did, he did, he seconded.
All right, we got a motion and a second to
Mayor, you knew.
suspend the rules.
He's doing it on her behalf. Making her feel good.
All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? We can move forward then if you'd like.
So moved.
Got it.
All, on pending ordinance 2979, putting $15,000 in the bicentennial fund. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, let's try to do this next one right. Pending ordinance 2980. This salary ordinance for utilities, I hope that you've all read them.
Your Honor, before we go to that, could I ask Julie about,
You certainly can.
should we taken we've taken $54,200 out of the general fund tonight. We began with $1,587,304. It sounds like a lot of money, but
It's not-
it will
not
soon.
a lot of cushion, yeah.
But I wanted the people to know that where that money is coming from and what we had left. But of course, that runs the town, that payroll and everything.
Yes, it's everything
Yes.
that we do. Plus, and we haven't got our tax draw yet, so that won't be coming till the end of this month.
Okay,
We got a portion of it, but the biggest part will be coming at the end of the month.
okay. But we did take out 54,200 tonight.
Yeah, in the last month, we've taken out quite
I
a
know
bit,
it,
so.
I know, that's what I was hoping we were okay.
Is that common?
There are still, there are still items though that we haven't used, not much, but there's some in some budgets that we haven't used.
And the biggest reason that we've had to do more additionals is because when we've done our budgets, we've tried to cut them to the bare bone. So that sometimes just leaves you short.
And one of the things that really hurt us this year was gasoline. You know,
Yes.
gasoline goes up $1 as much as cars we got, drive, insurance is up. You just got so many things that you can't, 12 months, is hard to budget.
Well, a lot of times when we budget in August, we set it up in August, we don't have any rates for health insurance or anything until usually November. So it's educated guesswork.
This next ordinance, this 2980, I want to take very carefully. This is for non-contractual employees over at the utilities. I hope that you have studied it, looked at it.
There are no changes, are there, Your Honor?
The only change is increasing their life insurance.
Okay, all salaries remain the
So the
same,
health insurance went up 5%.
and that's because of our claims?
That they're on a different,
Oh, okay.
It just generally went out.
they're on the union health insurance.
The reason why we're seeing this is, I mean, because this is the first time
Yeah.
Gabe and I have seen this. I was on the negotiations committee for the utilities, but is this because their contracts like due, or why are we
No,
seeing
this
this
is-
one?
Not new until June
This is not
Yeah.
30.
I know, but the
This
next
one's for
one.
non-contractual
I know, but the next one,
employees.
like, why are we seeing just this one though? I
We're
just,
going to see the other one next.
Well, these are on a daily, or these are yearly basis, Connie, we have to
Okay.
renew them.
We have to have one before the end
Okay.
of the year to pay for next year. We have to have salary ordinances before we're allowed to pay.
okay,
Because the
That's the
current one
state board
expires the end of the year.
okay. So have we seen like,
We've done
Police
all
and
the
fire?
others. The
I mean,
utilities is a little different.
different? Oh, okay.
Because they're not paid with tax dollars.
Oh.
They're paid with revenue from the utilities. So they kind of fall under different guidelines than all the rest of them.
okay.
I did have a question on the officials, that, like, one thing, it's probably fund the salary, I expect, but is this, it might be yours, clerk,
It is.
treasurer, board secretary, is that one fund part of your salary then?
Yes.
That's what I figured. Just wanted to make sure there.
And that's because myself and the girls in my office are actually responsible for a part of,
That's what I
we
figured.
do the payroll and claims for the utilities too.
I kind of figured that. Just wanted to
Well,
make sure.
Julie, you're the chief financial officer for the utilities. I mean, that's where it
Literally,
gets-
yeah.
That's what it gets paid. Yeah.
Any further discussion? Did this kind of backwards. Public, any discussion on the salary ordinance on non-contractual employees? None appearing, we've had a public hearing.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I move to accept pending ordinance 2980.
Second.
We have a motion on the floor to accept pending ordinance number 2980 on first reading. Any further discussion? Have a roll call vote.
Councilwoman Rish,
Yes.
Councilman Weber,
Yes.
Councilman Shomel.
Yes.
Councilman Nobby,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilman Creech,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens.
Yes.
You have passed that on first reading unanimously. Would you like to suspend the rules and consider it on final reading?
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor to suspend the rules and consider pending ordinance 2980 on third and final reading. On suspension of rules only, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? We can move forward.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor to consider pending ordinance 2980 on third and final reading. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We have a like ordinance, it's pending ordinance 2981. This is for salary ordinances for the contractual. Now, this will be, actually, the contract comes due at the end of June, but there's no way to do it as Julie says. We've got to have a salary ordinance in line, so we go ahead and do this. If things would change, we may have to change the salary ordinance, but we have to do it. This one is exactly like the one last year with one exception. There is life insurance of $50,000 instead of $35,000, and there also is an increase in the insurance.
In here, it's spelled out as still 35, but in parentheses it says 50. So it's a discrepancy.
Where are you at, Tony?
Third page,
Life insurance.
middle.
Yeah. Right, it says 35.
That's a typo.
We'll catch it, don't worry.
That's my fault.
No, I don't think so. But I appreciate that.
I always like to take the blame when I do better, take it later.
Now, does this take effect now, or does it take effect in June?
It'll
This
take
is
effect
December 1st, or January 1st.
Okay, but the contract for the next year doesn't take effect until June?
July 1st.
Or July 1st.
So if things would change in the contract negotiations, we'd have to do another salary ordinance to
But you have to have something.
But we gotta have something to work on the first 6 months. Let's do it right this time. Public hearing on the contract for service of the utilities. Anybody out there have any questions? None at all?
18 months. 18 months.
Okay. None appearing, I close the public hearing and we'll throw it to the council.
Mr. Mayor, I move to accept pending ordinance 2981.
Okay. We have a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Second.
No.
Motion, a second, to consider pending ordinance 2981, a salary ordinance for the utilities for contractual employees. Any discussion? We'll have a roll call vote.
Councilman Weber,
Yes.
Councilman Shomel.
Yes.
Councilman Nobby,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilman Creech,
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish.
Yes.
You have passed that unanimously. Would you like to suspend the rules and consider it on final reading?
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion on suspension of rules to consider pending ordinance 2981, salary ordinance for the utility for contractual employees. Suspension of rules only. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. We can move forward.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor to consider pending ordinance 2981 on final reading, a salary ordinance that would handle contractual services. We'll have a roll call vote.
Councilman Shomel,
Yes.
Councilman Nobby,
Yes.
Councilwoman Montgomery,
Yes.
Councilman Creech.
Yes.
Councilwoman Stevens.
Yes.
Councilwoman Rish,
Yes.
Councilman Weber.
Yes.
You have passed that unanimously. That finishes those two things. Pending ordinance 2982. This is a transfer DOT into garage and motor, it's all kinds of little things, from repair, from equipment, contractual medical exams, all going into garage and motor supplies. Sometimes at the, during the year, Phil will come over and maybe a part is $600, $800. You never know what's going to break and what parts you got to buy. So we're taking all this little bits of money and putting in there to cover the garage. Is there any discussion? We don't have to have a public hearing. This is a transfer.
Mr. Mayor, I move to accept pending ordinance 2982.
Second.
Got a motion and a second to accept pending ordinance 2982, transfer into garage and motor supplies from miscellaneous medical exams, other contractual things from repair of equipment. Everybody understand? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Would you like to suspend the rules?
So moved.
We got a motion to suspend the rules and consider pending ordinance 2982, transferring from repair, equipment, other contractual and medical exams into garage and motor supplies, $2,687.61. On suspension of rules only, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We can move on.
So moved.
Second.
Got a motion on the floor to consider pending ordinance 2982 on final reading, putting money, $2,687.61 into garage and motor supplies. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I didn't hear that good. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Are you guys voting? I know. Okay. Motion carried. Okay, we have pending ordinance 2983. This is an ordinance that will redistrict the council districts in Connersville, and I'll turn that over to Mr. Schommel and Mr. Baker, who worked on that now for what, a year?
Just about. Long time, yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Schommel, take the floor.
I'm going to switch over here to John. He did the bulk of the work here, and he wrote the ordinance. So, John, if you'd like to explain it and
Sure.
the whys and wheres.
Yeah, well, the statute requires that during the second year after a year in which a federal census is conducted, that the councilmatic districts have to be readjusted to equalize population among them. And we have, also by statute, 5 districts in Connersville, as you know. And Fran and I worked through all the districts and all the precincts, and we finally came back around to a relatively simple solution. We realized District 1 was too large and District 2 wasn't quite large enough to meet the standard of the census divided by 5, which is 2,696. So ideally, each one would be 2,696, but we can't meet the ideal, so the law allows us to come within 10% of that. So by transferring 128 persons from District 1 to District 2, and in the meantime, but not moving Connie out of her district, which we didn't do. We went to great efforts not to do that, by the way. Fran and I went to her neighborhood and checked her
Around her
address.
house, huh?
Almost.
Right on the edge.
But anyway, we were able to do it, and we got everything up now within 10% of each other, which is what the law will allow us. And the reason for that is, and you'll see it in subparagraph B, is the 5 council districts are not exactly equal, but in all cases are within 10% of each other. And there's a reason for that. It's primarily due to the need for ease of election administration and the following of visible and discernible geographic street boundaries to assist with voter notification, so they can be notified they've been transferred from one to the other, and to keep existing council persons like Connie within their respective districts. And that's the justification Fran and I have for not having everyone exactly the same. So but again, we're within 10%. So, and that apparently, from the case law I've read and the folks I've talked to in Indianapolis, in the census offices and so on, and the election offices tell us that's acceptable. So I'd recommend this to the city council.
It's necessary to redraw the districts because we've lost approximately 1,600 people since the 2000 census were official. Population of Connersville following the 2010 census, 13,481.
Do we have a map of this?
Of the districts?
Of the district?
Yeah, what are the new redrawn ones?
Well, I can tell you where we moved from. A little pocket down in District 1
Around Hickory Hills, across the street from
Yeah.
Hickory Hills was affected.
went into Council District 2 and the area around Ridge Road, Canyon Parkway. A little pocket out of that went up into from District 1 to District 2. Total of 128.
And that's the
voters.
only real differences?
Yes.
Yeah, that's it. The rest of them, we were able to, after we counted all the census blocks, and believe me, that's a job, we were able to discern that they're within 10% of each other.
Almost.
Okay, John, our procedure is that we have to have a public hearing
Right.
tonight.
Well, no, we introduced it tonight, public hearing next.
Okay, so we don't vote on it tonight at all?
You could, you don't need to, you can do all the voting the next time.
Okay.
For our next meeting, is there a way that we can have a existing map and then a proposed map?
Yeah, we can do that. If John will show us, we can have someone color it for us.
Yeah.
Pretty visual.
Yeah, we certainly can, we can do that.
Mr. Mayor, you don't want a motion?
No, I think all we're gonna do tonight is just read it and introduce it. We'll post it on the wall out there, and the paper and the radio will carry it. And anybody wants to come next time to the public hearing and tell us whether they like it or don't like it, it'll be fine. What'd you say?
I would like to thank the News Examiner for when I first thought about this. I think they did a great job of explaining why this has to be done and get within that 10%.
Okay.
Thank you.
So everybody all right with that? We'll lay that over until our last meeting in December, and we will consider that after the public hearing. Okay? Oh, on public forum, we don't have many public tonight. Has anyone got anything? Come forth.
Ruby, you're not public.
I want to thank Debbie Montgomery. There's a lot of people on television that doesn't know her and is watching tonight. Thank you for getting on board for our city councilmen. Appreciate it, and I know other people does too. I want you to know it. Thank you.
Anybody else have anything to say? Nobody? Okay, we'll close the public forum and old business. Anybody got anything under old business?
Where are we on the John Roberts building?
Well, really, we're in pretty good shape. The lift was almost completed today. They got to wire it yet, and it'll be completed. All the drywall is in. All the lights in the ceiling are in. We're taking some quotes on painting the walls right now. The high school, is starting the wiring in January. They'll do all the receptacles and all, learn house wiring and all that stuff. They'll also trim all the windows. We still have a few things. The air conditioning is completed. The heating's completed. We have the gas line up to the building at both ends. We have the electrical line from the transformer all the way to the building and the main panel set. We have ordered the wire this week to run to the 2 panels, which give us 600 amps inside the building. We're just set. Of course, you know, finishing always takes the most time. But we're going to have to do something with the front steps, and Jeff's going to rebuild the doors. Some of the doors were broken, kids broke. We got some of that to do yet. The kids from the high school, I call it building trades class, but it's really, tell me what it is.
Technical Career
Technical
Center.
Career Center are gonna trim all the windows and put all the baseboard and all that stuff down. We have the rough-in is done on the sound system. It is all in. Really, we're farther ahead than I ever thought we would be at Christmas. Our goal is to dedicate that on June 14th, is that Flag Day, or 17th? 14th. That's our goal. And we started making plans at noon today with the historic Connersville to dedicate that building. So we'll dedicate it just prior to the bicentennial starting. And they're gonna have a play in there, and I can't give you the date of that, but they're gonna have the first pageant will be in there, which is connected to the bicentennial. We've had a lot of interest in renting it, but it's full of dust right now, we can't rent it. But it's coming real well, really is. People are in there all the time, looking at it. So,
How we are with our finances with it?
well, we're still running on the money you gave us. We're pinching every penny. We bought used equipment for the kitchen, and I mean, we're going up to that door company at Los Anville to try to buy used doors to put on the bathrooms. And, it's going to be nice. I mean, I don't want you to think it's not going to be nice. It's going to be nice, but we're pinching every penny. Can you tell by that?
$20,000, a little over $20,000.
Left. There's no doubt we'll run out of money before we get done, but I told you that in the beginning, but it's doing better than I thought it would, really. I encourage you to, they're always in there. We got the maintenance crew working in there. John and Billy have been in there 8 hours a day now for 2 weeks, ever since Dave came on board, and they've just about got all the wiring and the ceiling done. We drywalled the ceiling, and then we realized that it's 120 feet long and 42 feet wide, and when we got some cool weather, it expanded. Contracted. What do? When you get cold, you contract. Yeah, okay, contracted, and it cracked. So we had to go in and put expansion joints in. You've seen those in great big halls where they've got the expansion joints, so that kind of slowed us up, but we got that done. I think finished today.
Good.
Okay? Anybody else? Any questions on old business? I encourage you, go up there between 7 and 3 o'clock, and your shoes will be all white when you come out. Anything else under old business? Okay, miscellaneous business. Nancy. Almost called her Julie. Nancy.
No, thank you.
Tom?
Your Honor, due to the fact that David Job had gave up his council seat, we need to fill a position in the solid waste district. And I talked to Julie and talked to Gabe, and unless someone else wants it, we asked Connie to serve on it, and she agreed. We need to take care of that tonight.
Okay.
Okay.
There was another position we needed to fill. Economic Development. We did fill the area planning.
Yep.
Who took that?
Yeah,
I remember.
He volunteered,
I remember you were jumping up and down, you wanted that position. Yeah. Connie, you want to do the solid waste district?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay, you got to meet at 5 o'clock on every Thursday. Did you know that?
No.
He's
Wait a minute, that's not what I was
4
told.
times a year, I think it is.
I think I can handle that.
All right. I need a motion to put her on the solid waste district.
I make the motion.
Second.
Got a motion to put Connie on the solid waste district. Is this just for this year, or is this for this year and next year?
We'll go for next year.
It's a lifetime position.
This year and next year, because we would be doing this the first of the year.
I'll make a motion to make it a lifetime.
Yes, no
Second?
council.
Oh,
Got a motion on the floor, you're out of order.
You might be
All
on
in favor,
board.
say aye. All right, that takes care of that. On economic development, we still need a person to represent the city.
We got,
I'd like to have that.
Okay. Anybody else?
I don't think she's been here long enough.
Let him have it.
No.
No,
Oh, that'd be good.
It takes somebody that doesn't work a regular job, because all those meetings are in the daytime.
I don't work a regular job.
Okay, I take a motion to that effect.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? Okay, we got a motion that Debbie serve on economic development. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That is a council appointment, by the way. Okay,
That's all I've got.
you got anything, Tom? Oh, Debbie?
No.
Okay, you got anything, Gabe, except shave?
I'm shaved.
You look
A
good.
little bit, it won't last long. I'll have a good tea bag.
I'm still upset with you, you wouldn't be my Santa Claus.
I might be able to.
You could have done that. I would have bought you a uniform and everything. Fran, you got anything?
No, Sarah, thank you.
Dr. Weber?
I do. I just, no, this is no big deal. Okay, maybe it is. Maybe you've addressed it already, but anything going on with Carbon?
They are still here about every 2 weeks. They work up there in the building and they're still around the country raising money, showing the car, and we still have a agreement with them.
But no more than that, I mean.
We revised the agreement and we're still working with them.
Okay, I'd also like to acknowledge the parking lot or whatever it is across the street and all the work that's been done. Looks very, very nice. I'm impressed with that. And,
There were donors that paid for all that. The only thing the city had in it is we tore the old out.
well, it looks very nice. Very nice. And, I would just like to say hello to Jessie Snyder, because I told her I would.
It's nice.
And she didn't think she said you knew her.
Yeah, I know Jesse
Yeah.
real well.
And
Yeah.
she said that, I wouldn't say that, and I just did.
Bye, Jesse. We'll all say it.
Say hi.
Everybody say hi,
Hi,
Jesse.
Jesse. Thank you very much. She'll appreciate it.
Connie?
Nope, nothing.
Nothing? Nothing at all? Okay. John?
I've got a lengthy dissertation I'd
No,
like to
it's okay. It's okay, John. Write it down.
It won't take over an hour. No, actually, I have nothing.
I do have something there, I forgot.
Okay, go right ahead.
I want to welcome Debbie to the council, and glad to see you here, Debbie. Thank you.
You supply the cookies next time.
Okay.
Okay, we're down to the mayor's report, and they all took my thunder. Ruby beats me to it every time. The mayor don't speak till the last part of the meeting.
Well, I'm sorry that I jumped ahead of you, but I think that should have been done at the very beginning.
Well, I can't,
As introduction or welcome.
we don't always do it to suit you, Ruby, but I'm sorry.
That's my opinion.
We'll keep trying.
That's my opinion.
I would like to introduce to you tonight Debbie, and she said we could call her Debbie Montgomery, who was elected by the precinct committeemen in her district on Saturday. We attended her swearing in this morning, Julie and I and the chief, and it was a nice ceremony we had down at the courthouse, and she came up and we got a packet ready for her, and I got to get her ordinance book from you. We toured City Hall, she got introduced to everybody, and she told me she got a photographic mind, and
I said that.
and her mother came with her. Well, we are glad that you're here, you're new, and it's always good to have a new thought and a new voice, because some of us guys are getting old. Not the girls are getting old, for God. But we are grateful that you're here. We miss Mr. Joe, but he's over there, we see him every day.
I don't miss him.
Don't you miss him?
No. Gary, you miss him?
I do miss him a lot.
I just waved to him across the street.
Well, Mr. Job is doing a good job at the street department. He really is. He's got the Christmas tree so it's not flying in the wind up at the fountain. That always bothered me every year. The wind would be taking it. Sometimes we found it over in East Connersville, but he's got her strapped down. She's not going anyplace. We have a policy now. If there's a pothole and you call Melissa or call Joby, it'll be filled in 24 hours, unless it's got ice in it.
That's good.
Joby, you give us an update on the trash. You want to come up here and give us an update?
Not a whole lot to say, but
Well, they're putting the wheels on.
we, this last weekend, they started putting the wheels and the lids and stuff on the cans. And they worked Saturday and Sunday up the building. I went up both days to make sure everything was good, and they were moving right along. They got right at 1,600 of them done. So they're gonna work weekends, this is the next 3, and they should be done and ready to go then. But the apparatus they had to put the wheels on, that was slicker than a whistle, and it was really a nice way to put them together. You had little caps that hold the wheels on. They had a little thing that you push down and pull them together, and it's done. So it went along pretty good though. So the truck should be here within maybe at the end of this week, and then we've got a posting up for.
You posted the job today.
Posted the job today for the driver for there's 3 positions open, want backups and so forth for the truck. So that comes down Friday, so we'll know.
Truck will be here Friday.
Pardon me?
Truck will be here Friday.
I'm trying to get it they were trying to get it down here for me for Friday.
When you say postings, you mean internal postings, right?
Yes, for the employees to drive the truck. And then what I plan on doing is going in the concrete area behind Visteon back there, put up cans, and we can just go up and train, and we'll be out of everybody's way, and hopefully the weather's decent there to do that. We can just leave the cans out until we're all done, and we can bring them back in and give them out, but.
And let the public know we have a small can and a big can out in the hall, so you can kind of pick.
Yeah, they're down here, and they're also, I've got them at the garage up there to come in the office. I got them sitting up there for anyone that picks up. It's amazing to me because I didn't ever pay attention. I know the dollars, but how many recycle bags we give out. It's, you know, there's not many days there's less than 20 people that show up to get them. So that amazed me, especially the 2 weeks that we were off with Thanksgiving, and then the second week to pick up recyclables. That was a bunch of recyclable stuff. So I was amazed at how much we really do in the city.
And would you go over your LEAF program again one more time?
Listen
carefully on these leaves now.
Now, the leaf thing today was done as far as getting the curb, the rake leaves along the curb. We finished that today. I'm sure I'll get a call that there's somebody in Idaho that needs them picked up, but just kidding about Idaho. But Friday is the last day of the yard waste that we'll be picking up Friday for the winter. So we'll go with the bag leaves and the sticks and stuff that you have left right now. That's Friday will be it until next spring. So that takes care of that part of it.
Any questions from the street superintendent? There's a lot going on over there. They're working on lots of things.
One other thing, so you all know in your districts and so forth, I've kind of came up with my own little thing of I want every sign touched in the city, every sign looked at to make sure it's straight, square, needs to be refaced or whatever. I've got some quotes on some prices to buy some. I've got prices to reface stop signs and so forth, which cuts the price in half. So I like to touch every sign before spring and have everything looking a little bit better for the bicentennial and so forth. And so as soon as I get signs, we'll start on that project.
Okay. I want to make a little discussion here. 6 months or so, I brought the sidewalk on this side, across from the parking lot, and you folks didn't want to mess with it. Mr. Baker has brought it to my attention that the trees down there have raised the sidewalk, what would you say, 4 inches?
In several places, yeah.
And he feels it's it's our problem if someone falls or gets hurt. Is that right?
You're talking right down.
Yeah.
Well, it's a possible joint responsibility between the landowner and the city, liability-wise.
There's no way to get the sidewalk to go down. I can take those places out that are raised and patch them, and where the trees have been cut down, either make another opening there and have some trees put in there. But he feels like we should do something to reduce our liability. Anybody got any discussion on that?
There's also a few places that have got some dips in some different areas too.
Talking the entire block?
Yeah.
In front of the Newton
No,
Center
there's 5 or 6 places where it's really raised up. The tree roots have pushed
Right,
it up.
right. But you would do it in patches? Is that what you're saying?
We would patch it if that's what you want us to do. Although this is a Board of Works decision, we have no money. So if you want.
What about the trees, Your Honor? What?
I don't know. You want to dig them out and put the trees in?
You know, David, when David was a council person, he brought this up maybe a year ago. We keep planting trees by sidewalks and this happened. And I'm like, the trees look nice, but what can we do?
Well, over on the other side, we put ginkgo trees in. They're supposed to grow real slow. I didn't even know what a ginkgo tree is, and I didn't know there were female and male ginkgo trees.
If we got females, we got a problem.
We got male. I had to ask that question, but it's all male ginkgo trees.
If you're not familiar with the female, they have a berry that just does not smell well. It's pretty awful.
It's terrible.
Maybe we should have an estimate on what the cost of the replacement would be.
Well, what we would do, Fran, is we do it ourselves. We can't afford to hire anybody.
Have you looked at him, Dave? He's what he's talking about?
No, I know what he's talking about. I haven't
Okay.
looked at him recently, but I've seen him before. It's just something we'd have to wait probably now till spring to look at with the ground, if the ground gets frozen and all, to do anything with it, I would think.
Mr. Baker and I walked down through there one day, and we've got some real liabilities along there. I don't know why we do, because it's Main Street, John, is that it, or?
Pardon me?
Why do we have liability there? Isn't that their responsibility, the owners?
No, we don't have a Barrett's Law.
What's that called?
Well, that has to do with the owner of the property being responsible for the maintenance of the sidewalk. There hasn't been one in the community for as long as I can tell, going back for years and years.
So the city is responsible?
Primarily, you know, there are circumstances where the property owner could be responsible if they have something setting out or something like that, but otherwise it's primarily a city responsibility.
Is that for all the sidewalks?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
But like I say, we don't have that statute in our ordinance in this community.
I'm concerned because there's gonna be so many people down there for what's gonna go on.
We want it to look nice.
Huh?
We want it to look nice.
Well, haven't we talked about this before?
We
With
did,
the-
we did,
with
and
the
we had
Synergy-
some donors. we're
It's in
gonna
front of, like, Synergy Metronet, right?
Yeah.
Like, they've got that
They got the hump
oddball
thing,
thing.
yeah, that's the thing.
That right there is,
I don't like
it
that.
did, no. Was, and something, somebody said that wasn't code? Or didn't
I
really
don't think it is
turn
either.
out to be code or something?
It's a wheelchair ramp that has
Doesn't have
the
a landing,
ADC
does it?
approved.
It doesn't have a landing, I know, on how you get up there.
But you turned it down before, but then John called it to my attention that there was some liability there, and I thought, well, I'll bring it to your attention and tell me what you wanna do. It would be a matter of probably buying the materials. I think we,
I'll take a look at it, and on our next meeting that you have, I'll see what I can maybe come up with.
I thought you said we didn't have any money to do it.
we don't,
Not to pay anybody.
Then why are we even discussing it?
well,
If we can't do it.
we'll have to find some money because Mr.
There's no
Baker
money
thinks it's a liability.
appropriated, I
There's no
don't
money
think.
appropriated.
All right.
I'll see what.
Have you looked at it, Nancy? Have you been down through there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
See if there's something we can do ourselves and see if, I don't know if there's any of that brick left around somewhere, I don't know, I just have to research it and find out, I don't know.
Okay, well, I wanted to make you aware of it.
Is Metronet up higher than anybody else? Why are they one of the few that has something,
They made that handicap accessible that way.
so nobody else is on that?
Well,
I mean, are they just-
Brian did the same thing, and so did the News Examiner.
Some of them don't have the step up to go inside their building, and they do down there.
Oh,
Don't you have a grade going up into your building?
Just
No.
a natural grade in the
yeah,
sidewalk.
no. And Brian's doesn't either,
Yeah, Brian,
Brian has a little bit.
a little
he
bit.
poured a new slab in front of
Internet
you.
has quite a bit more.
Yeah, quite a bit. I mean, if you're just walking past there, you could hit your nose pretty easy.
Well, a good part of the activities are gonna be down there, and we're gonna have someone fall and break a leg or something, and we, you know. Okay, we'll look at that. City Christmas party. Y'all got one of these, right? Everybody got one?
Mm-hmm.
Debbie, did you get one? Oh, Melissa, you're slipping. She's been in office 24 hours already. Could you give that one to her for me?
Thank you.
That's on the 20th, right? At 11:30? 11:30. All city employees are invited. That includes you.
I'm gonna do my best, Mayor.
Can you get away from the teeth for a while?
Ho, 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 I will try.
You gotta let Melissa know by 12:13, evidently she's ordering the food.
What are we having, Melissa?
Roast turkey, mashed potatoes, green beans, cranberry sauce, and dessert. You got anything, Clerk Treasurer?
Passed out copies of the fund report.
Everybody got their fund report?
Anybody have any questions?
We got one more meeting. This year will be over. Can you imagine that?
Did we get our raise?
Didn't mention number.
The Reading building's coming down, if you want to say
Oh,
something.
yeah, I think you all know that. They're taking the building that burned down, the Reedmans are taking it down. It's on its way. They finally, I guess, determined it couldn't be repaired. Well, if there's no other business, I'd take a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion on the floor to adjourn. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?